So it's taken us a little while to get to this video, but this is our top 5 homesteading goals of 2018. Liz Zorb had asked us to participate in this collaboration along with a lot of other channels, and we are finally getting to it. I think it's January 16th, and yeah, we got about 3-4 inches of snow, and it's still coming down. But I guess we'll get to this video and talk about our top 5 goals for 2018.
All right, first homesteading goal for 2018. One of the big questions I keep getting asked is, when are you gonna get your animals again? When are you gonna start building the house? When do we get to see the house plans, all that kind of stuff? Well, before we can even get to doing any of that, we need to know what we're going to do with the property. And before we know what we're gonna do with the property, we need to sit down and figure out what our long-term goals are for the property. I'm talking like 10-year plan. What is that gonna look like? Because when we start laying out this property, we want to make sure that we have room for everything that we want to do with it. So for the last couple months, what we've been doing is researching, trying to figure out what kind of livestock we're going to have, how we're going to support that livestock, and where we're going to put it, how we're going to do pasture rotation. 2 of the books that I am referencing for homestead layouts are the Reader's Digest Back to Basics book, and also John Seymour's Self-Sufficient Life. And I'm going to leave links down below for any of you guys that haven't heard of these books, but they are definitely must-haves for anybody that's getting into the homesteading lifestyle. But just as a general reference, these are 2 books that we're kind of looking at for homestead layout. Now, a lot of the stuff that we want to do is just kind of hypothetical. We're just kind of drawing it out on paper right now, but really it's going to take a full season, if not longer, before we can see what this property is actually going to do. But we have to start somewhere, so right now we're sketching everything out. Okay, let's talk about livestock. So what kind of livestock are we thinking about? A lot of people keep asking about the goats. Well, guess what? We have decided that goats probably are not going to be the best solution for us on the homestead. We love goat milk, we love goat cheese, we love taking care of goats, but there is a limitation to goats, and that has to do with cream for one and beef for another. Those are 2 main things that we really want to have in becoming self-sufficient, 2 things that we want to produce ourselves. And so what we're thinking of doing instead of goats is getting cows. The 2 cows that we're thinking of getting are, we want to get a mini Jersey, and then possibly at some point later on adding on a mini Dexter. The mini Jersey would be mainly for cream and cheese and milk. The mini Dexter would be to offset those months whenever we don't have the cow produce, the Jersey producing milk, and then we can use the Dexter more for a meat cow. And then possibly maybe 5, 6, 7, 10 years down the line, we might even add a Dexter bull due to their gentle disposition. But that's what we're thinking right now. Of course, that could change. Other livestock that we want to add are pigs, cooney pigs. One of the other homesteads that we had visited in the past had cooney pigs. We tried the meat, absolutely love it. Love how this particular pig is really good with the land. They do take longer to grow out, but they have really good tasting meat, and they're really good pasture pork. So that is another thing that we are looking into getting, and we actually have a contact for purchasing those when we are ready. And of course, chickens. We have our Dorkings that we're going to raise out, and then quite possibly Ancona ducks is another thing that we might want to add to the homestead. So where we're going to put all this, we need to figure out. Bees is another thing we want to do. Orchards, where we're going to lay that all out, where we're going to clear, where we're not going to clear, and where we're going to raise grasses, wheats, hay, that kind of stuff to support this livestock. So that's what we're trying to do right now.
Goal number 2, for me, is probably the biggest goal of 2018, and that is the house. As we said, we still kind of need to wait until we have a master plan for the entire property. And I know that that's more important because we've already moved where we're going to put the house. If you watched our intro video to our off-grid move, we originally intended to build a house on the top of the South Ridge, which is to my right here. And then we decided against that because there would be too much distance between the house and where we would be able to put a barn and livestock and outbuildings and things like that. So it just wasn't the ideal place to put a homestead house. It would be the ideal place to put a vacation house or something if someone was not going to have a homestead for the view. But for us, and having a small farm, we moved where we're going to put the house. And where we are going to put the house now is about right here on this this hill. I'm standing on an old roadbed, an old logging road, which will eventually become our driveway. And the house will be here overlooking the prairie, where we'll have a barn and some pastures. So this, I think, is probably the best place. Now, the style of house. I've decided that I like the salt box style, so it'll probably be kind of a cabin in the salt box style. I haven't decided yet whether it's going to be stick built or possibly even timber framed. I really like the idea of doing a timber frame. I don't think we're going to do a log home. I just like the timber frame style better, so I'm kind of leaning towards that. It'll be on a full basement, and it won't be very big. It doesn't need to be very big. It'll just be the right size for us. But I still have to get it drawn. I have to draw it up, have the blueprints done, have it stamped, and source all of the materials and vendors and labor and schedule. And you know, we're still in the very preliminary stages of getting this house build started. And so I'm also not in a rush. That's a good thing. I don't want to rush into something and have something end up not working out. So we're thoroughly researching and planning. 2018 goal number 3 for us will be a root cellar. Very important goal, and probably one of the first ones we do this year. Right now, all of our food storage is in a shed, and it works well with hot coals during the winter to keep it from freezing. However, in the summer, we will need a way to keep it cool. So we have to build a root cellar. Now, if we're going to put the house here, and this will be the road, the driveway, I think I'm going to put a root cellar right here in the side of this hill out of block. Just dig a big pit or a big hole, bunker, and build a root cellar with a door. That way you could come out of your front porch, go into your root cellar, and have about 55-degree storage for all of our root vegetables and canned goods and things like that we are not storing in our basement. So that's goal number 3.
All right, goal number 4 is going to be a new chicken coop. As most of you guys know, we are raising the silver gray Dorkings. I only have 5 of the Dorkings here, plus a cochin. But we are going to, that's going to be the chicken that we want to raise here for both meat and egg production. Now, I'm going to let these guys brood out in the spring, and then I have 20 more chickens that are coming in June. So we need to make room for these guys. I've been debating between doing a movable chicken tractor on a trailer bed and doing a permanent coop. I'm not a big fan of the hand-pulled chicken tractors, but what I'm thinking of going with here is just a regular chicken coop and then letting the birds free range, because that's basically what we do anyway. Now, my goal with the chickens is to maintain a flock of 20 laying hens and 2 roosters throughout the winter months. Come spring, I'm going to let them brood out what they want. I'll sell what chickens I can, whatever I can't sell or replace my flock with, and then come fall every year I will call off so that those numbers go back to 20 laying hens and 2 roosters, and that's how we plan on raising our meat and our eggs throughout the year. So this will be the first year that we're attempting to do that. We'll just see how it goes. But a new coop, that's what you're going to be seeing in 2015, 2018. What year is it? Holy crap, I'm old.
This may not be that big of a deal to most of you who always heat with wood, but for us it's pretty new. And so a big goal for 2018 is firewood. Really managing our wood lot properly, identifying where we want to maintain a sustainable wood lot. You know, going through, getting all the deadfall out, cutting, splitting, and you know, putting up maybe 3 or 4 cords of wood this year. In the next couple months, actually, right now is prime wood cutting season. And I got a log splitter when we first moved here, and it's still sitting on the pallet, still haven't unpacked it, just haven't had time to get out there. As soon as the weather gets a little cleared up, we're going to start cutting a lot of firewood and splitting and just getting it put up. So that's a big goal, probably goal number 5 for 2018.
So that wraps up our 5 homesteading goals for 2018. Of course, we're going to be taking you guys along for all of that, and of course anything else that happens. Just drama every single day here as we are trying to live the off-grid life If you guys haven't seen our winter water woes series so far, you might want to check that out so you can kind of get an idea as to some of the different things we're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. But we'll definitely take you along for all that. Go check out in the description down below all the other channels that are participating in this collab. In particular, check out Liz's channel. She actually has a homestead, a small holding over in the UK. If you want to see how things are done a little differently, go check out her channel as well, and all these other channels. The really good thing about these collabs, if you guys are new to YouTube collabs, is that you get to see different ways of doing things, and you get to see what everybody's up to. And if you're in a different phase yourself or looking for a different thing homesteading wise, you can see how everybody does things differently on their homestead, and you can pick and choose what might work for you. As I mentioned in the previous video, we are going to be doing a giveaway, or one of our friends is going to be doing a giveaway. We're going to be visiting her homestead and checking out what she has going on there, my friend Amy at Heritage Hills. So stay tuned for that video, which should be coming out next, and thanks for watching.